Hey guys, we're at Centria International Airport in a place called the Flight of Dreams, and this is the first 787. As you can see, the experimental, this was the test model that came off. So I've showed you this before, we've talked about this before and explained this place before. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about was this particular day was a special evento. And it was a classic example of what we've talked about before with people being herded like sheep. So we waited for about 30 minutes in a line because we're told this event was going to be from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And then we're all herded into a really tight space. And this little guy with his microphone and his speaker hanging off his belt gave us a setsuma, gave us the big explanation that went on for about 20 minutes. Felt like about 3 hours. The rules for the day and what you could do and what you couldn't do. So have a little bit of a listen to that.
いただけない可能性がございますので、ご了承の上お並びくださいませ。あとですね、コックピットもですね、こちら、定員7名と非常に少ない人数になっております。ちょうど皆さんが並ぶ列作っているんですが、その列の最後の方になると60分待ちとなってしまいます。60分待ちとなってしまいますと、もう退場の時間5時となってしまいます。見れない可能性が。
As you could probably tell by the noise, people weren't really listening. It was families. It was an event for kids, right? So that there says social distance. Make sure you maintain social distance. But what they'd actually done is they'd packed us all into a really tight space. And he was standing there with his microphone saying, everybody move in closer, everyone move in closer. And because private space or personal space, as we've talked about before in Japan, is sort of non-existent when there's groups. And so he kept saying, everyone in closer, everyone come in closer. There he is again, still going on. And he packed all of us, however many people were there, hundreds of people, into a really small little area so he could do his big setsuma, his big explanation thing. And when people get in close in Japan, you can feel them. They're that close. They're shoulder to shoulder. So there were people behind us and in front of us and beside us, and you could actually feel them pushing up against you. And just ridiculous, because, I mean, not just a COVID thing, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous at the moment when they're talking about social distancing and then they do that, but also just an uncomfortable, you know, getting inside your space thing. And it's interesting because they love it. This evento was just this 1 hour of being able to, the kids being able to go on all these things here. But instead of spreading it out over a whole day so that you'd have less people there at any given time, they packed everybody in within a 1 hour period. This is him walking around saying, okay, the hour's up, everybody leave. And the interesting thing is Japanese people love it. So queuing up for a really long time to get into something like this and do something like this, and then everything that they did they had to queue up for again. So they really spent most of the hour queuing, and then probably 10-15 minutes actually, you know, jumping on things and looking at things. So it's just a strange phenomenon. You know, in a lot of countries, if there's a big long queue for something, and we've talked about this lots of times before, you know, in a lot of our countries, a big long queue for a restaurant or something, you just wouldn't go in. But in Japan, it attracts people. They love it. So another interesting thing too, this was about 10 to 6. They got all these different restaurants here, and we'd ordered dinner. And the guardman came around, the security guy came around and said, it closes at 6. Right? So they sell dinner in this place, but you buy it and go sit down, and then the guardman comes along and says, the place closes at 6, please move on. And we've got our dinner sitting on the table. So, yeah, we don't recommend this place, guys. It's interesting to see the plane inside, but it's not worth it. Anyway, there it was. More videos coming soon.